In the vast and fertile valley of Mexico, where the mountains rise majestically and the lakes reflect the sunlight like ancient mirrors, a civilization was established that defied the laws of time. The Aztec Empire, with its capital Tenochtitlan, built on Lake Texcoco. The Aztecs dominated the region for centuries, leaving a legacy that still fascinates and intrigues scholars and explorers. Despite its greatness, the empire left a trail of enigmas that remain unsolved to this day. These are the mysteries of the Aztec Empire that continue to challenge modern science. If this is your first time on the channel, subscribe now so you don't miss any important content about the darkest chapters of our history. The origin of Aztlan. According to Aztec legends, their people came from a mythical land called Aztlan, a paradisiacal place of abundance and beauty. The Aztecs, then known as Mexicas, had been guided by their god Huitzilopochtli to leave Aztlan and search for a new land to establish their empire. However, the location of Aztlan remains a mystery. Some archaeologists suggest it could be in the southwest of present-day United States, while others believe it is more of a spiritual symbol than a physical place. The disappearance of Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, was one of the most revered gods by the Aztecs. The chronicles mention that after a conflict with another god, Tezcatlipoca, Quetzalcoatl left Tenochtitlan, sailing eastward with the promise of returning at a future time. This myth was so powerful that when the Spanish conquistadors arrived, some Aztecs believed it was the return of their god. But how accurate was this prophecy? Some suggest that the Aztecs possessed prophetic knowledge about the arrival of foreigners. The Pyramids of Tenochtitlan. The pyramids and temples of Tenochtitlan are impressive works of architecture built with techniques that are still not fully understood. The Great Pyramid, known as the Templo Mayor, was built and rebuilt multiple times, each layer representing a phase of expansion or renewal. But how did they manage to erect these monumental structures without iron tools or draft animals? Moreover, stones found in these constructions are not native to the area. The Sunstone and its hidden meaning. The Sunstone, commonly known as the Aztec calendar, is a masterpiece of sculpture that appears to describe the cosmic cycles and time. However, some experts believe its engravings have deeper meanings related to astronomy and secret rituals. Alignments have been discovered that could indicate the observation of specific celestial events, such as eclipses and stellar oppositions. Human sacrifices and their true motives. Human sacrifice was a fundamental practice in Aztec religion, and its scale has puzzled scholars for years. Some believe these sacrifices served a political purpose, helping leaders maintain control and power through fear and religious devotion. However, there is also the theory that the Aztecs believed the sacrifices were necessary to maintain the balance of the universe, as their cosmology was based on the notion that the gods needed human blood to continue the cycle of life. The floating city of Tenochtitlan. The construction of Tenochtitlan on a lake was an unprecedented engineering achievement. The Chinampas or floating islands allowed the Aztecs to cultivate abundant food, sustaining a population that exceeded 200,000 inhabitants. But how did they manage to stabilize this floating city for centuries? Although remains of the canals and structures have been found, the precise details of how they kept these constructions stable and functional under adverse climatic conditions are still not fully explained. The lost treasure of Moctezuma. After the fall of Tenochtitlan, the treasure of Moctezuma disappeared, and legends say it was hidden to prevent the conquistadors from finding it. Over the centuries, explorers and treasure hunters have searched unsuccessfully in various places across Mexico, from caves to lakes. It is possible that the treasure was lost forever, or it may just be a myth created to confuse the invaders. The whereabouts of Moctezuma's treasure remain one of the most fascinating and tantalizing enigmas of Aztec history. The prophecies about the end of the empire. Aztec cosmology was centered around cycles of destruction and rebirth, and some texts suggest that the Aztecs foresaw that their empire would indeed end. Did a prophecy exist that anticipated the arrival of the Spaniards? Some historians think that the accounts of these prophecies were modified or interpreted conveniently after the conquest to explain the fall of the empire. The truth behind these prophecies remains obscure, and without clearer records, it is difficult to know how accurate they were. The hidden and lost codices. The Aztec codices were manuscripts containing vital information about their history, culture, and scientific knowledge. The mass destruction of these documents by the conquistadors left a void in the understanding of this civilization. However, some believe that hidden codices still exist, protected by descendants of the Aztecs in remote locations. These documents could contain revelations about rituals, technological advancements, and lost astronomical knowledge. The search for these codices is an ongoing effort in Mexican archaeology and anthropology. The Triple Alliance's hidden purposes. The Triple Alliance, composed of Tenochtitlan, Texcoco, and Tlacopan, was the foundation of Aztec power in the Valley of Mexico. But was this alliance simply a military pact, or was there a deeper spiritual and religious agreement between these cities? Some scholars believe there was an esoteric component in which the three cities shared knowledge and rituals that went beyond politics. Huitzilopochtli, god or historical leader. The figure of Huitzilopochtli, the god of war and protector of the Aztecs, raises questions about his true nature. Some researchers suggest that Huitzilopochtli may have been a historical leader mythologized, a figure who guided the Mexicas in their migration from Aztlan. However, the records do not provide conclusive evidence, and it is difficult to discern whether Huitzilopochtli was a deity invented to unite the people or if he truly represented a historical character. Agricultural advancements. Chinampas. The Chinampas were an agricultural marvel that allowed the Aztecs to cultivate food in an aquatic ecosystem. This intensive farming system was extremely productive, but the details of how they managed the ecological balance of the Chinampas to prevent salinization and maintain soil fertility are still not fully understood. The precision and efficiency of this system have astonished modern scientists. The lost city of Atoyen. The Aztecs venerated the Toltecs and mentioned Atoyen as the cradle of civilization and knowledge. However, the exact location of Atoyen has not been identified. Some believe that Atoyen is simply a mythical symbol of cultural perfection, while others associate it with places like Tula. The disappearing ritualists. Some Aztec chronicles tell of certain priests who mysteriously disappeared during important rituals. Subterranean temples. According to tradition, these ritualists would enter caves beneath underground tunnels of Tenochtitlan, and many never returned. There are tunnels and subterranean temples that have never been fully explored. These secret passages were said to have been used for private rituals and ceremonies, and they could have been the place where hidden sacrifices were made or where the greatest secrets of the Aztecs were kept. Reports from explorers and archaeologists suggest that structures exist underground that have yet to be mapped. If you've made it this far and learned something new from our stories, subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos. Together, we can discover and remember the truths that history often tries to conceal.